We're back and thank you for joining us. And we are coming to you from the residency of His Excellency Mr. J.A Kufour. Is it true that you are a good storyteller? I've heard from some of your close associates that you tell fantastic, hilarious stories. And can we have the benefit of one? The whole nation?
I'm not like you. You crack jokes. I think it's a gift, a talent you have. But I think I do enjoy good jokes. So if you tell me one, then you'll see how hilariously I'll laugh. So tell me one.
Well, there was a joke about you being an excellent, they say you introduced what they call funeral politics in Ghana. And if you want to be president, you have to know how to go to funerals. So they said you showed up at one funeral and the man wasn't even dead yet. You didn't laugh.
Oh, this one is morbid. It's not good enough.
It's not good enough.
How could I attend some living man's funeral? But funeral politics, no. You see, you want to lead a people or work with people, you must know their values. And there's nothing like empathizing with people in their moments of hardships and sorrow. And if you want to do politics, do it successfully, then you must find a way to identify with the people you want to lead. So yes, I attended quite a few funerals, but I tell you, it wasn't a gimmick. I naturally happen to feel a lot of sympathy with people. So yes. But if people would describe that as funeral politics, let them.
No, it's not people. That's a joke I cracked about you. I'm making my confession today.
I suspected. I suspected because I remember him and his, with all due respect, not sort of making light of the sorrow you must feel for your departed brother. He had a bigger brother on campus. The brother was about 4 or 5 years behind me at school. Their daddy, as I'm sure most of you would know, was a Presbyterian pastor. In fact, he became the president of the moderator of the Presbyterian Church. But somehow, Osopho's children were so bad. And once his brother went to the school farms, Prebe has big land all over, with farmers encroaching, making farms, and some palm wine tappers also doing their own thing there. One hot afternoon, his brother got dragged back to school while he'd gone to steal some palm wine. Yes. So that's how I got to know KSM and his late brother. Very naughty children. Yes.
You ended up giving us one story. Anyway, so seasoned as you are in politics,
yes.
If I came to you and I said, senior, as we call each other at college, I really want to get into politics, what advice would you give me?
You want to get into politics, meaning you feel a call?
Yeah, if I said that.
I would ask, what constituency do you want to represent? Where are you coming from? You want to know the people you want to lead. People who would vote for you to come to, say, parliament, or if you want to be president, the whole of Ghana. Now, we want to test you to see if truly you've got the makings of a successful politician. I felt politics as a calling. In fact, I say it's a mission. And I would spare everything, anything. I carried my life in my hands. I don't care, I don't fear, and I can live it very rough anywhere. I would sacrifice anything, money, comfort, to go to the deepest areas to meet with the people, talk eyeball to eyeball with them. And what I've learned over the years, that when people get to trust you, they believe that they can depend on you, then you are a politician. You are a mate. And of course, when they put you in leadership, you must continue to show genuineness with them. Try to meet the aspirations and expectations of you. If you try and you don't even make it, they will still stand with you. So if you want to do it, this is the best advice I would give you. Don't go in thinking, see that friend of mine I knew walking the streets with me the other time. Now his minister is driving a fine car or he lives in a fine bungalow, so I want to do it. You go like that, but you are not going to succeed.
Yeah. How do you feel about the fact that that's now the perception, that that's what politicians want and that's what they're going to do?
Well, it's an unfortunate perception.
Is it just perception, though?
Well, you use the word perception.
Okay.
I'm giving it back to you. In reality, you would get some very genuine and sincere people driven by the motive of doing good to community and people. But you may also meet people who are just opportunists and just fast people wanting to grab where perhaps they are not entitled. They may also go into politics because that's where power tends to be centered. And the power of patronage, I know some people call me Wawa. I never talk the way they make it sound. What I was trying to advise my party, I remember it was a conference in Cape Coast. We had won power and we had a new government with members of parliament. And I was telling them, talking about corruption. I told them power was such that wherever it's located or it resides, you get all sorts and manner of people flocking to seek the benefits and advantage that power normally carries. When you get appointed, you must keep reminding yourself that you are there more or less as a trustee of the people. And I believe the best way to stay above undue perception is to keep on pinching yourself from time to time. When the people come, they may come with gifts. Some would come with pretty girls. They will do everything to secure your attention and support. The way to escape the temptation is to keep on pinching yourself. Otherwise, you may get trapped, and once you get trapped and you are found out, you are done for, finished. In the moment of my trying to advise my party that way, some propagandists, obviously against me and my party, went out twisting this message. Say, Kufour, who says you would suffer zero tolerance of corruption, is now saying corruption is as old as Adam and that the gifts keep coming, wow, wow, wow. It wasn't
so that was not the context?
It wasn't the context at all. And it was perhaps one of the finest speeches I gave to my party people.
So you're saying what, pinch yourself to remind you that...
That you are a very ordinary human, just privileged to lead the people, and that you should not get swollen-headed, you should not get drunken on power. Because when power seeps deep into your head, you are not careful, you may even become a murderer. You may kill thinking you are entitled to kill. It's common, people know it. But when you keep pinching, you are reminded that you are not given the position to lord it over people. You are given it to serve the people.
Give it up. When you're in power as a president, and the nature of politics is that people will come after you, things you've said or not said. Of course, like you were saying that this thing was taken out of context. How do you deal with that? Do you just...
if you are not careful, you'd get sidetracked from the vision that you must have to sustain your mission of delivering on the vision. And so when some smart propagandists, as I would call them, try to foist things on you that would not help you focus on your vision to pursue it, just try to ignore them and carry on. Because the truth comes out. The truth is like the cork, proverbial cork. Force it in underwater, it will pop up. So, yes, don't get distracted by allegations and perceptions and things just try to do good.
Stay the focus.
And stay focused, and the people will get to know.
When you look back, what was two things? Your greatest moment that you think in the term that you served, and what was your worst? You have...
I can't pinpoint any one thing. Naturally, greatest moment is when I want to become president. It's like you've done a long distance race and then you find breasting the tape, number one. That one is really great. But then when the power came, went into power and then found that our economy needed to be salvaged and we needed to take some very drastic decisions. Leadership can be lonely. You agonize knowing that the decision you take may make or break you. It becomes like you are virtually gambling. And say with the HIPIC initiative, it wasn't easy taking it. I was not supported by even members of my cabinet. But I just felt deeply that unless our country went that way, we may continue to beat about the bush. And I wasn't going to use the term that the people had honored me with, just skirmishing and talking without any results. So I took the decision. Thankfully, immediately after that, things started changing. And within 2 years, Ghana had completed the initiative. And it was that radical decision that really turned the economy as a whole, gave us a chance to work the macro economy, and with that, all the other good things that have come. So in that sense, perhaps that decision I took was perhaps the most critical step I took. And of course, when we completed that too, because that occasioned the debt forgiveness, totaling altogether something like $8 billion. So those were dramatic times for me personally.
He says leadership is a very lonely position.
It can be.
It can
because like taking the decision to do the HIPIC initiative, when some of the best economic minds we have in the country said, no, don't go. But I also felt it in me that unless I did this thing, we wouldn't have any alternative but to continue stagnating and wallowing in poverty. So the decision becomes
very,
Suppose things hadn't worked the way I prayed they should work after that. I would have been thrown out by my own government. My own supporters would have deserted. So in that sense, I was very lonely. I felt it.
But you went ahead anyway.
I went ahead because I was convinced it was.
Let's talk about the man Jack, personal. You know, what do you do to relax? How do you have fun? What are your hobbies?
I love soccer.
Okay.
Table tennis.
Did you used to play?
Yes. Volley. No, I was generally a very sportive character. Athletics, for instance, I was the school champion for discus and shot put.
Oh, really?
I attended. You were too small to see those times. So generally, I love sports. I love history. Love history very much because I believe it tends to be the storehouse of the great moments of humanity, the big changes that have come. Sometimes also the wickedness of the human being when, say, he or she gets misdirected, especially when they are handling power. So I love history very much, and I like studying personalities. I love reading if they are good books. And you said I enjoy Toli. Occasionally, that too comes in very handy. But over the political times, I didn't really have the time. I said to Parliament in my last sessional address that the term of 4 years was too short, especially for a developing nation, and I still believe in that. I believe the term should have been 5 years, and if you are lucky, the people would repeat you a second 5 years, and then that should be enough. You should step aside for others to come and continue. But when you say you have to do it 4 years with a broken down economy, then I tell you, even if you should be given time, say a week or two to go on holiday, and you are like me, you won't rest. You'd always be thinking how to overcome problems. So past 8 years, I didn't really have any vacation or holiday. I also said once that I loved traveling. Not gallivanting, but I enjoy seeing the world. I want to know humanity to the fullest, and I want to know the different aspects of our world, the globe, the earth. And I find that as I travel around, even as I exercise myself looking at problems and thinking how to overcome them, just moving away from the center, even say driving from here to Kumasi can relax me. So I take my holidays in my stride as I still remain on the job. That's what I do.
And let's talk about a little bit of your family, your wife, Madam Teresa. Where did you meet her?
I met her in London. That was 1961. I had qualified as a young lawyer. Can you imagine? 22-year-olds. And I felt quite pompous and big. And then the Republic Day, 1st July, there was a dance at the Battersea Town Hall. My closest friend, my age group from Prempeh, who was also there in London doing medicine, phoned to tell me. That time I had an English girlfriend, and we're very close with her. But my friend who knew me very closely and still knows me very well phoned to ask whether I would go to the dance. I said yes. I lived in north of London and he lived in the south. He said he wouldn't come, but he felt he should let me know that there would be some girl coming from Edinburgh, Scotland, to this dance.
To this dance.
And that girl, Ghanaian, would go to Oxford, where I was going to go, to do midwifery. She'd finished nursing in Scotland and wanted to come to Oxford to do the midwifery course at Radcliffe Infirmary. And that this girl that was coming from Scotland would be at the dance. So, Kofi, please, when you go to the dance, look around. When you find that girl, please talk to her. I didn't take him seriously then. But he added something. Look, the way I see you, you would end up in public life in Ghana.
Oh, really?
He was like a prophet. You end up in public life in Ghana. Kofi, I know how you like your Bopsy. Please, if you continue that way, you may not fulfill your ambitions.
What's a Bopsy?
That's the English girl.
Oh, okay.
Very
okay.
kind and very nice person.
Okay.
So please, just talk to that Ghanaian girl that you'd meet at the dance. And I went to the dance really with Bopsy.
Oh, you went with Bopsy?
And another friend of mine who is a lawyer, and he stayed in Britain, he hasn't come back home, was dancing with this cute Ghanaian girl. I looked, so I approached my friend. I said, who is this? So, Teresa, come from Scotland, and she'll be going to Oxford. So immediately the thing clicked. And I told her, I said, dance with Bopsy, let them dance.
So you made the move right away?
Right
Switched?
away. And I said, obliged. So dance with Teresa. And I asked her, yes, so I hear you've come from Scotland. I said, yes. Where are you going? Saying, going to Radcliffe Infirmary, Oxford. I said, I'm going to Exeter College, Oxford. So when we get there, let's meet. And that was it.
So this rapping was going on as you were dancing? You didn't waste any time at all?
No.
Wow, wow.
No, we didn't.
So was it, and when you saw her, you decided this was the one? Yeah?
In fact, that's why I say my friend was like a prophet.
Yeah, yeah. And you've been together how many years now?
From 61 till now.
Wow. Give it up, man. Give it up. Give it up. Fantastic. And you have how many?
5 children.
5 children. Okay. How many boys, how many girls?
3 boys and 2 girls.
Any grandchildren?
12 grandchildren.
12 grandchildren. All right. How is Kufour the father? Home?
Kufour Ajekum.
Ajekum.
The father.
Okay.
He was a traditional chief in Kumasi, or Yukohine of Kumasi. Perhaps he too was like a prophet. Time I was aware, I was born 38 December. By early 40s, his influence on me was total. He was a Kumasi and a big chief, one of the 7 divisional chiefs in Kumasi, head of the Oyoko royal clan. He pampered me, but right from the time I was aware, he was so, I would say, careful and determined to let me know that I had some duty to perform. You won't believe it.
Wow.
From what I would say class 1.
What was he saying?
He just wouldn't let me into companies that wouldn't sort of let me be serious and wise. Wouldn't permit me to play games that children that age would play. And everywhere he set, I would say, guides, not guards, guides on me. Yeah.
Of all the kids, particularly you? Wow.
Sometimes he would even sleep with me.
Wow.
He wouldn't do it with any of my brothers. And I say I love history. He really steeped me in history, say, of Ashanti. And he was quite prominent at Semanshia. Sometimes we go, and he would talk with me like he was talking with some grown-up. Anything that intrigued me, he would explain to the roots. And it made me a bit self-conscious. Don't do this. You do this, this will be the result. And that kept on. Unfortunately, the very year I left Prempeh 58,
He passed.
he died. But with hindsight, I feel that he must have seen something in me, or must have foreseen that I might be useful for something. And he guided me in that respect.
I see. I see. And you, as a father to your kids, what kind of parental guidance? Are you the strict, rigid, or what was your parental?
I'm never rigid. Please, that's my strong point. I'm prepared to look at various sides of anything. And even where I disagree with you, I will tolerate you. Sometimes some people say too much toleration. So I'm never rigid, and I try to let my children be themselves, personalities. And and thankfully, they seem to be themselves. They are not under my thumb, more or less. See, I said my wife and I got married a year after we met, 62. By 63, the first child was there.
Wow. 62 you were married? 63 the first child?
64, the second child.
Oh.
65, the third child. And these people are, in a way, like my friends. And they are different personalities, but they are all, I would say, responsible, reasonably responsible.
All right, okay, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back with the president. Stick around, we'll be right back.